Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Debanjana and you are watching Eduplex. So today in this video we'll be talking about the first chapter of class 12 NCERT, that is reproduction in living organisms. In this class we'll be discussing about the topics or facts important from the examination point of view, let it be the board exam or any other competitive exams. So to start with, we know that every living organism is born, lives for a certain period of life and dies. That is, they have their particular lifespan. So by the word lifespan we mean it is the period of time from birth to the natural death of an organism. So if we take some examples of mayfly, it lives only for one day, whereas butterflies live for 1 to 2 weeks. Again, if we take an example of man, it lives for 100 years, whereas banyan tree sustains for 200 years. So these examples are very important from the examination point of view. Now, to sustain the species type, every living organism should reproduce. So this brings us to the main topic of today's chapter, that is reproduction. So reproduction can be defined as a biological process in which an organism gives rise to its young ones of its own kind. That is, a human will give birth only and only to a human, whereas a horse will give birth to a horse. Now reproduction enables the continuity of species generation after generation. The third point is reproduction is mainly dependent on the habitat, that is the place where the organism lives, and the internal physiology of the organism. So we are done with the basic points of reproduction. Let us see the features of reproduction. The basic features of reproduction are replication of DNA, cell division, that is meiosis and mitotic division, formation of reproductive body, and lastly development of offspring. Now, reproduction can be broadly classified into two main categories, that is asexual type of reproduction and sexual type of reproduction. Reproduction is a vast and detailed topic which is impossible to complete in one single video. In this video, we'll focus on the first classification, that is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction can be defined as a type of reproduction which does not involve fusion of gametes or change in the number of chromosomes. The mode of asexual reproduction is the cell division is the mode of asexual reproduction in single-celled organism. That is, in monorans and protists, the single cell divides into two daughter cells or two individuals. Now let's get on the details of the topic. Asexual reproduction can be broadly classified into 5 categories. Those are the vegetative propagation, fission, budding, and spore formation. Again, vegetative propagation can be classified into natural method and can be conducted through artificial method also. Through natural methods, we use the involvement of leaves, root, aerial stem and underground stem, whereas in artificial method we conduct the vegetative propagation through cutting, layering, grafting and tissue culture. We're talking about what exactly is fission. Therefore, basically fission is the process of division of one cell or organism into daughter cells or individuals. Therefore, basically it is a cell splitting into two or more daughter cells or individuals. You may think this to be just a cell division, but well think, cell division just makes more cells inside of the body, but that's not reproduction for us. However, if you consider unicellular organism and if that splits into two organisms, reproduction will occur. However, if you consider unicellular organism and if that splits into two, reproduction will occur. Therefore, fission is a kind of cell division for unicellular organism only. So let's take an example of the famous unicellular organism, amoeba. So when reproduction is about to happen, the amoeba withdraws its pseudopodia. Its cell gradually elongates horizontally. Inside, the DNA starts getting copied eventually. When time passes by, the nucleus starts splitting into two by moving into two opposite poles. After the copy of the DNA has been made, at last it finally splits into two daughter amoeba. One of them has the original contractile vacuole while the other develops a new one. A couple of interesting things to notice is that in asexual reproduction, the offspring will be identical to the parents. We say that they are clones of the parents. This is applicable for all kinds of asexual reproduction, not just fission. This happens because only one parent is involved and its DNA is only getting copied. Now, we can further classify fission itself into different kinds. So let's take the example of Leishmania, which has a whip-like structure. In this example, we see the fission is happening along the vertical or the longitudinal axis only. The fission cannot happen along any other plane. Let us pause for a while and think about the case. So it is going to do with the flagella. That is, when the Leishmania has to divide, it has to make an identical copy of the parent that can only happen if the division happens in the longitudinal axis. Similarly, in case of dinoflagellates, the splitting occurs obliquely, whereas in Paramecium and Planaria, splitting occurs transversely. So if we take amoeba as the example, only in amoeba the split can occur in any axis, that is, whether it be oblique axis or transverse or longitudinal, it can split in any axis. Now, on the other hand, there are certain unicellular organisms that can divide into more number of organisms. An example of that is Plasmodium. When Plasmodium is ready to divide, what you will find is that it will split simultaneously into more than two divisions, and as a result, eventually more than two offsprings are reproduced over here. This is another way in which we can classify fission. In one fission, we will get two offspring. This will be named as the binary fission. And in this one, we get multiple offsprings, and we will call this to be the multiple fission. Now let us move to the next topic, that is budding. Basically, budding is a type of asexual reproduction in which a daughter individual is formed from a small projection, the bud, arising on the parent body. So the main fact to be remembered is it occurs only in multicellular organism. So let us take an example of yeast. In yeast, buds arise as small cytoplasmic outgrowth from the parent cell once it is matured. This is followed by the division of the nucleus. The nucleus of the parent cell divides into two, and one of the daughter nuclei migrates into the bud. The bud then enlarges and detaches from the parent cell by forming a constriction at the base. The daughter cell then detaches and matures into a new yeast cell. The daughter cell produced during the budding process is generally smaller than the mother cell, which eventually grows, keeping the parent cell intact. Similar process of budding is observed in Hydra. Even though in fission cell division is happening, still it is much more different than that of budding. When fission occurs, one cell splits into two new offsprings, whereas in budding, new offspring is growing from the parent cell and is separating out, keeping the parent cell intact. So there's the next type of reproduction, that is fragmentation. Well, fragmentation is the method of asexual reproduction where the body of the organism breaks into small pieces called fragments. Each fragment grows into an adult individual. So let us take an example of Spirogyra. When Spirogyra matures and is ready to reproduce, it basically just splits into too many pieces or fragments, and then each of these fragments starts growing into rest of its body. And as a result, in this example you see 3 new Spirogyras. That's the idea behind fragmentation. This process of regrowing the entire body is often called regeneration. Some more example of such process is Planaria, a type of flatworm, and starfish. Another important fact about fragmentation is if the organism does not fragment all by itself, but some external forces chop them into pieces, even in that case, each piece will regenerate and grow individual bodies. However, regeneration cannot be termed itself as reproduction, and this is because in some cases, let's say lizard, their tail can regenerate if chopped off by any foreign forces. Now, let's talk about spore formation. The famous example of this is bread mole. The technical name of this is Rhizopus. The sporangia is basically the reproductive structure containing spores. When the bread mole matures, the sporangia bursts to release spores into the air and settle on the moist surface and regrows into new bread mole. The other important facts about sporulation are this phenomena is also employed by amoeba. Under unfavorable conditions, it shows incestation, that is, it withdraws its pseudopodia and secretes a 3-layered hard covering around it, that is known as cyst. At the return of favorable condition, the amoeba undergoes multiple fission, forming a number of minute amoebae, which is also known as pseudopodiospores. The cyst wall bursts and the spores are liberated into the medium, where each one grows into an amoeba cell. So this is the whole concept of spore formation or sporulation. Now the last type of asexual reproduction left is vegetative propagation. By the word vegetative propagation we mean it is the form of asexual reproduction occurring in plants in which a new plant grows or regenerates from a fragment of the parent plant or a specialized reproductive structure. Therefore, basically in plants, the units of vegetative propagation such as runner in oxalis, rhizome in ginger, bulbs in onion gives rise to new offsprings. These structures are called vegetative propagules. That is, vegetative propagules are the vegetative structure used to grow new plants. It is routinely done and preferred by many plants. Now, vegetative propagules are formed by a single parent and therefore considered a method of asexual reproduction. We have certain advantages of vegetative propagation. Those are they maintain the fixed quality, the rootstock is offered, the best quality of certain plants can be obtained generation after generation. Other than these, there are some other modes of asexual reproduction, such as in fungi and algae, specialized asexual reproductive units are formed. They are as follows. Zoospores, formed in many algae and certain aquatic fungi, are motile with flagella, whereas conidia, produced by Penicillium, are non-motile. Some other modes of asexual reproduction are gemmules, which are formed in sponges. The example of each and every process of reproduction is very essential from the examination point of view. So with this we end our today's topic, that is asexual reproduction. In our next video we will be talking about the sexual reproduction of living organisms. Till then, stay tuned and subscribe the channel for new upcoming videos.